If you guys did not know, since the recent news on the PlayStation that Sony has shipped 100 million PlayStation 4s as of June 30th in the 2019. So actually in total of 3.2 million consoles were shipped during the April to the June quarter. Now that's pretty big new milestone for the PlayStation, of course. Now this makes PlayStation 4 the fastest home console to reach 100 million units sell in. That's actually faster than both the PlayStation 2 and the Wii, which were just behind. So in comparison, it took PlayStation 2 a total of 5 years and 9 months to reach this height. PlayStation 4 was just 5 years and 7 months, so 2 months, less. Now, I don't know how to make this into consideration that it's a gigantic leap. Well, actually, it is still a new milestone, and that's actually very good to see as well. So here's the question at this point. Will the PlayStation 4 be able to surpass the PlayStation 2? As you guys might know, the PlayStation 2 currently is in its 158 million units of its lifetime anyway. Now that's actually regarding about the PlayStation 4. We know it's already in its 100 million units. The only way I can actually see they are able to surpass those numbers is because when they will be able to discount or make their console cheaper. And that means, presumably again, that the PlayStation 5 will be by that time already out until we will finally be able to see this, the discounts on the PlayStation 4 and so on. And if that's the case, this is actually very good news because this also been that the company expects to hit 112 million PlayStation 4 units shipped by March 31st, 2020. Now that's actually pretty good. I don't know how much longer they will require to make sure that they will be able to hit those units. Now we have to understand, PlayStation 2 has been out for extremely a long time, more than a decade at this point, and so obviously we will have to wait a little bit longer for the PlayStation 4 to catch up to those figures. Let's say at this moment, because it's been, just say an example, 10 years been passed already PlayStation 2 since it's released, right? As an example. So 10 years from the PlayStation 4 when it's released, let's see how they will be able to configure to these numbers, and will they be able to actually surpass the PlayStation 2 in its life cycle time. We have to, one other thing though. PlayStation 2, as of this moment, they're not really selling any longer, right? They're no longer making more of these PlayStation 2s and whatnot. Maybe some markets out there are still to this date. There's basically no support to PlayStation 2 at this moment at all. PlayStation 4 will still gain support even when the PlayStation 5 comes out. Well, presumably the next generation console of the PlayStation anyway. So it's already been mentioned that at least it's going to support up to 3 years when the PlayStation 5 does come out. This means, let's say, PlayStation 5 comes out in the end of 2020, they will be still supporting it by the end of 2023. I actually think by end of 2023, I'm gonna say that they will be able to hit that margin. They will be able to hit at least 160 million units until that range, maybe even earlier, who knows. Of course, PlayStation 5 will be, on purposely slowing down the sales for its PlayStation 4, but it doesn't mean anything because really, I'm sure they will, make the discounts on their console, then they will be able to achieve those margin of units and they will be able to surpass the PlayStation 2 units over lifetime to be sold completely. And that's awesome. Now that's the thing, cutting the price down, I think we'll be able to achieve those results that we all are expecting the PlayStation 4 to surpass the PlayStation 2. Well, PlayStation 4 to surpass the PlayStation 2, wow. Now, since as well, because of the exclusive games such as Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake as well, I'm gonna have to mention, of course, The Last of Us Part 2 are on the way. Now, this means this is actually going to boost up the sales for the PlayStation 4 as well, since we already kind of know that all these games are going to be for sale as well on the PlayStation 4. These games are going to be giving boosts to a PlayStation 4 already. And by the time when PlayStation 5 does come out, all these games presumably are going to be already out. And once again, presumably, all these games are going to be available on the PlayStation 5 or the next generation of PlayStation. And of course, maybe in some degree of the backwards compatibility and maybe as well the remastered version of them. Similarly as it was done for The Last of Us, now when they came out with the remaster for The Last of Us called Remastered on the PlayStation 4 as well. I think that actually took a year until it did came out. Mind you, there was actually an anniversary for The Last of Us as well, the remastered one anyway, just very recently happened. Well, that's a big margin of goal to be and seeing if they will be able to surpass to that point, because PlayStation 2 currently at this moment is the best sold console of all time currently. So let's see if the PlayStation 4 would be able to achieve those similar results and see if they will be able to achieve it, right? I think, well, again, I actually do think it will be possible for them to achieve, and I actually really would like to see this happen. PlayStation 4 did something fantastic. It was also because of the Xbox faults when it's TV, and so many more other problems. They pretty much gave themselves a handicap. They tore off their legs and they can't really walk on it. And now they're trying to glue new ones in. Wow, that was a very bad statement. Very bad interpretation, so to say, statement. Wow. Anyway, well, I'm sure the Xbox are not going to have a similar results of the issues as they have done with the Xbox One. For the next Xbox, it seems like they're already making big progress and big push-ups, advantages maybe, as this, Halo Infinite will be, and a first game happening for their next gen console of the Xbox as well. So that's a big push. PlayStation, I do see to be going with a similar route. Maybe they will have one of those good hitters, exclusive hitters, mind you, only on the PlayStation 5. Well, I just don't see it not happening on the PlayStation 4 as well. I do see both of these exclusive games coming on the PlayStation 4. On top of that, the next PlayStation as well, the PlayStation 5. Now, this is going to be interesting to see as well how great or how well will they be able to sell their consoles as PlayStation 5. Similarly, would it do with a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2? Will it be able to keep up? I don't know. That's the problem with this is just because the Xbox gave themselves a handicap, but maybe I don't know. I just don't see it at this moment. I think because more people will be willing to go with an Xbox this time around, because I feel like they're gonna have a stronger presentation than they did a couple of years back with their Xbox when they tried to, sell it, when they were saying TV and all that stuff, and the other problems as well, as a DRM as an example. Now, this time around, they are going. Both of these consoles, these sort of war consoles, are going to have their own bring-ins and advantages, and for the people to enjoy and to like, of course. Since we already know that the console generation of console wars, as everyone likes to say, we already know who won. It's the PlayStation 4. It's the obvious. With the sales, with the better games, pretty much with anything at this point. Well, anyway, I think that's actually going to be interesting to find out more. I actually really want to see how the PlayStation 5 will go and do about as well. How will they be able to progress and how will they be able to keep up as it was done on the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 4, and see what they have got in the offers as well, such as like exclusive games, because we already know it's all about those exclusive games. If they can bring in fantastic games, I think they got something very special down as well. This is going to be interesting. I cannot personally wait to find out more. Well, I think that at this point, tell me down in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that the PlayStation 5 will be able to surpass the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4 over the years again? Will the PlayStation 5 be a console winner once again, as the PlayStation 4 was done so already? And just tell me down in the comments. We'd love to read it. Anyway, well, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later. And have an awesome day.